Ethan made me promise to wear my shortest dress so he could show me off to his alumni friends, then told me I'd embarrassed him for speaking into the mic. I looked him dead in the eye and said, "Oh babe, I'm just getting started." He went red and charged the stage. I stayed calm. That was 6 months ago. This morning, he was let out of court in handcuffs, screaming my name. Rose up, the janitor who cleaned their fraternity house, took one look at what we showed her and said, "Those boys never tip me and leave their bathrooms like a war zone. Whatever you need. I'm your inside woman." Suddenly, we had keys and their Wi-Fi password. She told us how Ethan and his brothers would clog toilets so she'd have to clean up, and how they called her the help. I never let Ethan know anything was going on. He was busy planning the frat's huge event Paradise Night, bragging about donors flying in and how he basically ran the house. He made me promise to wear something hot for the alumni, like I was an accessory. I smiled and promised my shortest dress for a very different reason, because that was the night we'd blow it up. Paradise Night arrived. I walked in on Ethan's arm while he whispered how he'd have to fight his brothers off me. The house was packed with 300 people, alumni and their wives. At 11:30, our president gave the signal. Doors locked from outside. 12 sorority presidents blocked the entrance. I climbed onto the DJ platform. "Oh babe, I'm just getting started," I said into the mic. I told the room the fraternity had been rating women's bodies and sharing intimate photos. Without consent for years. Silence, then gasps. Maya plugged her laptop into the DJ system. The rating spreadsheet lit up every TV. Names, photos, scores, vile comments. Ethan lunged for the gear. 3 football players held him. Derek Walker started shouting about lawyers, then froze when his wife's photo appeared on screen with a note, "Brad's mom." At 25, found her college pics online. Solid 8. Campus police burst in weed, called them minutes earlier. Ethan charged. I sidestepped and he crashed into the DJ equipment, giving everyone including cops a clear view of him attacking me. Rosa stepped forward with a box of printed evidence. 8 years of emails. About drugging drinks and secretly recording hookups. Brad tried the back door, found it locked, and started deleting files until an officer grabbed him. Sirens wailed. Closer. The video hit TikTok by morning to million views, and hashtag Paradise Night exposed trending. Reporters were outside my place. My parents drove down from Charlotte. Title: IX's Jessica Torres demanded I come in, scolding me for creating a PR mess until our lawyer spoke, and her face went pale. Next day, Derek held a press conference calling me disturbed while announcing a $3 million donation. My yearbook photos flooded Instagram with insults. Rosa was put on leave. Her union lawyered up on campus. Whispers followed me. My professor suggested I finish online. Officer Davis warned that police were being told to focus on how we got in, not what the frat did. She gave me her personal number and told me to document everything. Ethan posted a bail video saying I was jealous, cherry-picking my old texts and omitting where he'd called me property. A week later, 12 more women came forwards. Same patterns, hidden cameras, shared photos, threats spanning a decade. Maya's apartment turned into our meeting hub. The university emailed that they were investigating all parties. Title: EX threatened me with expulsion for accessing private property and conduct unbecoming a student. Within hours, Rosa's union filed a lawsuit over her suspension. 3 days later, she walked back into work wearing a Red I Stand with Survivor shirt. And the local news ran her story. Over Thanksgiving, a forensic analyst recovered deleted frat messages, plans to drug drinks at Paradise Night, and images of minors. The FBI got involved. Derek's law firm sent cease and desists. Someone smashed my car window and left a note. "Drop it or drop out." A supposed advocate tried to pump me for details. Turned out to be a PI hired by Derek's crisis team at a mandatory Title IX hearing. Jessica let Ethan's lawyer grill me for hours. I left sobbing. Someone posted the photo and called me unstable. That weekend, Sophie attempted suicide after a PR smear. She survived but withdrew. Harassment escalated. Anonymous cheating accusations to professors. Hacked Instagram posting fake nudes with my number, non-stop threats. My therapist documented PTSD symptoms and promised to testify. Rosa found work orders and receipts for illegal hidden cameras in frat common areas, approved and paid by Derek. Maya mapped the campaign's rhythm. Digital attacks Mondays. Institutional pressure midweek. physical intimidation on weekends. 2 weeks later, the FBI raided the house, seizing electronics tied to an image-sharing ring across 12 universities. 3 brothers flipped, saying Derek encouraged the rating system as brotherhood. His wife filed for divorce. I went to a survivor support group. Veterans told us that trauma lingers in the body long after court wins. Finals week, I scraped through. Then, a whistleblower from Derek's dad's company sent legal recordings of Derek bragging about handling that liar and paying university insiders. The Department of Education opened a Title IX investigation and put Jessica on leave. More survivors came forward. Winter break finally let me sleep. Back at school in January, my car was painted Survivor. I posted the photos there. So mad I won't shut up. The post blew up. Maya organized a 3,000 student protest. When Derek tried to visit campus, a human wall chanted, "No means no." The university hired a new external Title IX coordinator, who quickly unearthed 47 buried complaints against the frat. Rosa was promoted to head of custodial services and safeguarded the evidence. January 12 at 2 a.m., Ethan pounded on my door, drunk, screaming. I live-streamed as I called 911. On video, he said, "Brothers deserve to know what they're getting," admitting everything. He was arrested for violating the restraining order. His lawyer dropped him. Our legal team filed a RICO suit, naming the fraternity a criminal organization, Derek, as boss. Brad was arrested after Sophie's records showed injuries. More reports followed. The university president resigned after leaked emails showed he'd blocked investigations. We built a database with victims at other campuses. The national organization revoked all charters. Derek resigned from his company after clients threatened to pull billions. I started teaching self-defense to survivors. In February, the FBI found a dad's group chat about training alphas leading to more arrests. An anonymous leak of frat financials showed bulk purchases of party enhancers GHB. Rohypnol signed by Ethan. The D raided and found supplies in a locked cabinet. My grades climbed. A professor admitted Derek had threatened his tenure. Sophie returned to group steadier than I'd ever seen her. On February 25, the DA charged 14 members. Ethan faced 3 counts of sexual assault. Brad got distribution plus assault. Derek was hit with federal bribery, conspiracy, and witness tampering charges. Depositions began. When Ethan's lawyer called me a bitter ex, our attorney played audio of Ethan describing his conquests. The university settled our civil suit for $30 million, mandated consent education, and created a survivor resources department. Rosa testified to the board about 8 years of cleaning up after the frat. 7 administrators were fired, and Greek life oversight was overhauled. A first-year named Amanda said my story helped her report a different fraternity. That case opened to. Brad cracked an interrogation, describing Derek's seminars, conquest spreadsheets, and a mentorship network of wealthy dads. The city condemned the house for illegal cameras, black mold, and dangerous wiring. Demolition was set for April. At trial, woman after woman testified. On day 3, Derek's wife detailed how he'd trained Ethan since middle school to see women as investments, with receipts and recordings. On April 2nd, I testified, walking the jury through the timeline, when someone connected to Derek tried to bribe a juror. New federal charges followed and the jury was sequestered. April 12th, guilty on every count. Ethan screamed in court as bailiffs dragged him away. Brad pled and got 8 years agreeing to testify against Derek. 11 more pled guilty. The national fraternity declared bankruptcy. Derek was convicted on all federal charges and faced at least 25 years. On April 22nd, Ethan was sentenced to 6 years in state prison and lifetime registration. Days later, hundreds of survivors watched the frat house come down. Rosa pushed the button. Dust, cheers, tears. May 1st, I walked early at graduation. The auditorium erupted. 2 days later, the university opened the Center for Survivor Support and Advocacy named for all survivors. Sophie cut the ribbon, packing to leave. I cried happy tears when Rosa texted a photo of her first consulting check. From the help to the helper, I started as a law firm intern focused on campus assault, then drove to Washington, D.C. For the main office, Maya and I had one last dinner at the restaurant where we planned Paradise Night. "You didn't just survive," she said. "You showed everyone how to fight back." More universities closed frat chapters after investigations sparked by our case. I deleted my social accounts, chose privacy, and kept therapy healing by living with the truth of what happened and who I became. On May 30th, I put on the same dress Ethan once demanded, looked in the mirror, and saw the woman who fought back and won. At the firm that morning, I met a new client, a student, drugged by her own sisters. She sat shaking, phone in hand, just like I had 6 months earlier. I took her hand. I told her I understood Dan, that I'd help her through the cycle of survival and support. Continued each victory building on the last. Proof that speaking truth to power works, even when power fights back.